Dear learners, a very warm welcome in the MOOCs of Energy Resources and Conversion Processes. I am Dr. Shweta Tripathi, Assistant Professor in Mechanical Engineering from School of Engineering and Technology, Indira Gandhi National Open University, New Delhi. In this module, we are going to discuss energy conversion process. In our previous module, we have discussed the direct energy conversion process and multi-stage energy conversion process. In this, we are going to discuss various energy conversion process. The learning outcomes of this module is to understand principle of electrochemical energy conversion, working of fuel cell and magneto-hydrodynamic generator, multi-stage energy conversion process. As we know that in electrochemical energy converter, what happens, the chemical energy can be directly converted into electricity, and the device which is used to do this is known as fuel cell. Then the magneto-hydrodynamic generator. A magneto-hydrodynamic generator is a device which converts the heat energy of a fuel or chemical energy of a fuel directly into electrical energy without conventional electric generator. In advanced countries, magneto-hydrodynamic generators are widely used, but in developing countries like India, it is still under construction. This construction work is in progress at Tirchi in Tamil Nadu under the joint efforts of BARC, Bhabha Atomic Research Center, Associated Cement Corporation ACC, and Russian technologists. The word magneto-hydrodynamics is derived from three words: magneto, hydro, and dynamics. Magneto means magnetic field, hydro means liquid, and dynamics means movement. The field of magneto-hydrodynamics was initiated by Hans Alfvén, for which he received the Nobel Prize also in physics in 1970. This effect is a result of Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction. And what is Faraday's law? Faraday's law states that when the conductor moves through a magnetic field, it generates an electric field perpendicular to the magnetic field and direction of conductor. This induced electromotive force is given by E induction, which is equal to U into B, where U is velocity of the conductor and B is the magnetic field intensity. And the induced current is given by I induction, which is equal to C into EIND, where C is electric conductivity and E is electromotive force. The retarding force on the conductor is the Lorentz force and is generally given by Lorentz force is equal to I induction into B. So what is Lorentz force? The Lorentz force is the force on a charged particle due to electric and magnetic fields. A charged particle in an electric field will always feel a force due to this field. And a charged particle in magnetic field will only feel a force due to the magnetic field if it is moving relative to this field. And the sum of these two effects creates a force that is known as the Lorentz force. The conducting fluid flow is forced between the plates with a kinetic energy and pressure differential sufficient to overcome the magnetic induction force, that is F inductor. An ionized gas is employed as the conducting fluid, and the ionization is produced either by thermal means, that is by increasing the temperature, or by seeding the substance like cesium or potassium vapors, which ionizes at relatively lower temperatures. The atoms of seed element split off electrons. The presence of the negatively charged electron makes the gas an electrical conductor. 90% conductivity can be achieved with a very low degree of ionization of only about 1%. Then, how this ionization of gases is done? Various methods are there for ionization of gas, all of which depend on imparting sufficient energy to the gas. The ionization can be produced by thermal or even nuclear means as well. Materials such as potassium carbonate or cesium are often added in small amounts, typically about 1% of the total mass flow, to increase the ionization and improve the conductivity, particularly combustion of gas plasma. What are the advantages of MHD, magnetohydrodynamics? Generally, there is thermal pollution of water. When thermal pollution of water is eliminated, that is, it is clean energy system, and the use of magnetohydrodynamic plants operating in conjunction with a gas turbine power plant might not require to reject any heat to cooling water. These type of power generation systems are less complicated than the conventional generators, which are having simple technology. There are no moving parts in generator, so it reduces the energy loss also. These plants have the potential to raise the conversion efficiency up to 50 to 60%, since conductivity of plasma is very high. It is applicable with all kind of heat sources like nuclear, thermal, thermonuclear plants, etc. So extensive use of MHD can help in better fuel utilization also. Then comes the limitations. The construction of superconducting magnets for small MHD plants of more than 1 kilowatt electrical capacity is only on the drawing board now. Difficulties may arise from the exposure of metal surface to the intense heat of generator and from the corrosion of metals and electrodes. Construction of generator is uneconomical due to its high cost, and the construction of heat resistant and non-conducting ducts or generator and large superconducting magnets is difficult. MHD without superconducting magnets is less efficient. Then comes the fuel cell. Fuel cell also works for the electrochemical energy conversion. So we can say that it is an electrochemical cell that converts the chemical energy of a fuel and an oxidizing agent into electricity through a pair of redox reactions. Redox means production and oxidation. Chemical energy of a fuel is generally fuel used is hydrogen, and oxidizing agent is we use generally oxygen as oxidizing agent. The electric storage fuel cell is a conventional battery chargeable by electric power input using the conventional electrochemical effect. However, the battery further includes hydrogen and oxygen inputs for alternatively charging the battery chemically. These fuel cells are classified by the type of electrolyte they are using and by the difference in startup time, and generally this startup time range from 1 second to 10 minutes. 1 second is in the case of proton exchange membrane fuel cells, and for 10 minutes it is for solid oxide fuel cell. So it depends upon the type of the fuel cells. So what are the parts of these fuel cells? As you can see from the picture, there is anode. Anode is negative port of the fuel cell, it conducts the electrons that are freed from the hydrogen molecules so that they can be used in an external circuit. S channels disperse hydrogen gas over the surface of catalyst. Then cathode, it is positive post of fuel cell. SD channels distribute oxygen to the surface of the catalyst, and it conducts electrons back from the external circuit to the catalyst, and there they recombine with hydrogen ions and oxygen to form water. Then there is an electrolyte, that is proton exchange membrane. Specially treated material only conducts positively charged ions, and this membrane blocks electrons. Then catalyst is there, special material. It is a special material that facilitates reaction of oxygen and hydrogen. Usually platinum powder, very thinly coated onto carbon paper or cloth. Rough and porous, maximizes surface area exposed to hydrogen or oxygen. Then its operating principle. The pressurized hydrogen gas enters cell on anode side, and this gas is forced through catalyst by pressure. When hydrogen molecules comes in contact with platinum catalyst, it splits into 2 hydrogen plus ion and 2 electrons, E minus ions. Electrons are conducted through the anode, and they make their way through the external circuit doing useful work such as turning a motor, and they return to the cathode side of the fuel cell. On the cathode side, oxygen gas is forced through the catalyst and forms 2 oxygen atoms, each with a strong negative charge. This negative charge attracts the 2 H plus ions through the membrane, and it combines with an oxygen atom and 2 electrons from the external. Now comes the advantages and disadvantages of these fuel cells. Let us first discuss the advantages. Water is the only discharge, and it is used as energy storage device. Direct conversion is available. Now comes the disadvantage. Little more efficient than alternatives. Technology currently is very expensive. Many design issues are still in progress. Hydrogen often created using dirty energy, for example coal, etc. Hydrogen is produced from them. Pure hydrogen is difficult to handle in refilling station, storage tanks, etc. It is quite difficult to handle, and it is very explosive as well, very reactive as well. Hydrogen is quite reactive as well. So these are sound. Carbon dioxide is discharged with methanol reformation. So these are the limitations of fuel cells. Now comes the multi-stage energy conversion. We had discussed that for multi-stage energy conversion, we have to involve many energy conversion process to get up to the end use. Some type of energy conversion process as I discussed, and then we will discuss the multi-stage energy conversion process and their example as well. Now one is electromechanical energy conversion. As the name implies, electrical energy is converted into mechanical energy, or mechanical energy is converted into electrical energy. The energy conversion device that is used for this type of conversion is known as electric machine, and it is able to convert electrical energy into mechanical energy and vice versa as well. So these electrical machines are of 2 types, generator and motor. Generator is the device which is used to convert mechanical energy into electrical energy, and motor is the device which is used to convert electrical energy into mechanical energy. Conversion of heat into electricity, thermoelectric, direct conversion we have seen, thermoelectric power is there. Conversion of heat into electricity is also done by geothermal power. Conversion of heat into electricity is also done by ocean thermal power generation. If we talk about the hydroelectric dams, which kind of conversion is there? Conversion of gravitational potential energy into electricity. If we talk about the electric generator, the conversion of kinetic energy into electricity. If we talk about fuel cell, conversion of chemical energy into electricity. So there could be many stages also. It is not necessary that a single conversion process is used to generate power. We could combine some of these conversion processes to get our end use of the energy form that we want or that we desire to get. If we see that heat is transferred to the environment during all energy conversion process. If we see that the conversion of chemical energy into, if we see that lighting of lamp, the chemical energy is converted into heat and light. So there is some heat loss, some heat is lost there, and that is transferred to the environment, and it is done during all the energy conversion process. And what happens in turn, it leads to slight increase in the thermal energy of the environment. It means that this thermal energy is lost to the environment and is not available for doing any useful work. The heat that is lost could not be utilized for any useful work. Let us talk about various energy conversion devices that are available. Energy type, if we talk about mechanical energy, to convert mechanical energy into mechanical energy, we need lever. To convert mechanical energy into thermal energy, we need brakes. To convert mechanical energy into electrical energy, we need dynamo. To convert mechanical energy into electromagnetic radiations, we need synchrotron. If we want to convert mechanical energy into chemical energy, the example is matches. Then if we talk about thermal energy, how we are going to convert thermal energy into mechanical energy? By using steam turbines. And if we convert this thermal energy into thermal energy, then we use generally heat exchangers. What happens in heat exchangers? They absorb heat from the hotter body and transfer this heat to the another body which is at colder temperature. Then if thermal energy, we want to convert this thermal energy into electrical energy, thermocouple is used. And if we want to convert thermal energy into electromagnetic radiations, hot objects are there. If we want to convert thermal energy into chemical energy, furnaces are there, blast furnace is there, one of the example. Then if we want to convert electrical energy into mechanical energy, we just have discussed that we use electric motors. If we want to convert electrical energy into thermal energy, we use resistors. If you want to convert electrical energy into electrical energy, which kind of device is used? Very well known, it is transformer. Then if we want to convert electrical energy into electromagnetic radiations, we have to use light emitting diodes. Then if we want to convert electrical energy into chemical energy, electrolysis will be done. So we use electrolytes here. Then electromagnetic radiations, how it will be converted in mechanical energy? It is by solar cell. Then electromagnetic radiations to thermal energy, it is by solar collector. If we want to convert electromagnetic radiations into electrical energy, it is solar cell or PV, photovoltaic cell. Then electromagnetic radiations into electromagnetic radiations, then we have to go for non-linear optics. And if this electromagnetic radiations is to be converted into chemical energy, then we need photosynthesis. Then if we want to convert chemical energy into mechanical energy, we need muscles. If we want to convert this chemical energy into thermal energy, we need fuel, fire. If we want to convert chemical energy into electrical energy, we need fuel cell. To convert this chemical energy into electromagnetic radiations, we need glowworms. And to convert chemical energy to chemical energy, there are many chemical reactions. So these are some kind of energy generating devices that is used. It is not that there is only single example. I had given only one example for each. You could have go for the other examples as well. So if we talk about the energy conversion in a thermal power station, we are using grid connected electricity at our home, and we know that this electricity is generated at the thermal power stations where fossil fuels, which fossil fuel, coal, oil or natural gas, are burned to produce heat, and this heat is used to generate steam, and then this steam is used to rotate the turbine, and the rotary motion of turbine is then converted into electrical energy. There are many stages. So if we see or observe all these conversion process, then we will see that at the very first stage, the chemical energy that is stored in fossil fuels gets converted to thermal energy in a boiler. Heat is produced. Then in step 2, when we are going to generate steam, what happens? This thermal energy gets converted to kinetic energy in steam. Then this steam, so the steam is having kinetic energy. So in step 3, what happens? The kinetic energy of this steam gets converted into mechanical energy. Why mechanical energy? Because it is rotating the turbine. So the kinetic energy in a steam gets converted to mechanical energy in the turbine. And then at the last stage, when we are going to generate electricity, the rotary motion of this turbine, that is mechanical energy of the turbine, gets converted to electrical energy. So there are 4 stages here in energy conversion process of thermal power station, and in every stage we have some loss. Some loss is there when all of the chemical energy of the fuel is not converted to thermal energy or heat in a boiler. Then all of the heat is not utilized in production of steam. Then when steam is rotating the turbine, there are certain losses. So in every stage there is a loss. So we could say that more the number of stages are there, more will be the loss in the final or the energy that we are going to get. So our overall efficiency decreases by the increased number of stages. Then let us take an example of energy conversion in an automobile. We know that which type of transformation of different types of energy takes place here. It involves number of conversion stages, and each of the conversion stage will involve some loss as well. In this, first, the potential energy in the fuel is converted to kinetic energy of expanding gas via combustion. Then the kinetic energy of expanding gas converted to linear piston movement, and this linear piston movement is converted to rotary crankshaft movement, and the rotary movement of this crankshaft then pass out the movement to the transmission assembly through different drive wheels, and then this rotary movement of drive wheels is converted to linear motion, and the vehicle move forward or the automobile move forward. So there are several stages, and at every stage there is some loss as well. Then let us summarize whatever we have studied in this module. We have studied thermochemical direct energy conversion. In thermochemical direct energy conversion, we have discussed the fuel cells and magneto-hydrodynamic power generation. We have then discussed the multi-stage direct energy conversion process, and we understood that it is not possible to extract heat energy from a reservoir and perform work without creating waste heat, which in turn could not produce similar amount of work. We had also discussed that it is possible for us to convert 100% of electrical energy into heat by passing a current through a resistive element. We have seen the various conversion of heat into electricity. We have also seen the conversion of gravitational potential energy into electricity, that is in hydroelectric dams. We have discussed the several examples. We have discussed the various devices that are used to convert one form of energy into another. For example, the solar cell, which is used to convert solar energy into electricity directly. We have discussed which device will be used to convert mechanical energy into electrical energy into mechanical energy. We have discussed the various devices. We have discussed the electrical machines also. We have discussed the generator, motor, etc. And we had concluded that lower is the number of stages in conversion process, better will be the efficiency. Thank you very much.